Do you find yourself wishing that like all of your volunteers were just a little bit younger? Do you wish that like your students and your volunteers were just close enough in age that they maybe could have gone to high school together? Do you make it a policy to make sure that there's not a single person in the youth group that's related to your students? We're not talking siblings, we're talking authority figures. In other words, are you giving in to the myth that parents don't belong in youth ministry? My name's Ronald Long, and I've been in youth ministry for 16 years. And I gotta admit, there was a season when I thought parents shouldn't volunteer in youth group. I mean, parents are great and all. Like, I believe they're awesome when it comes to their kids, but I mean, parents in the youth group, that could just get awkward, right? Because when parents are in the youth group, oh, what if they start confronting their kid? What if they start talking to them about the homework that they need to complete, or how they did in football practice, or the fact that they haven't cleaned their room yet, or all types of issues that might come up? If nothing else, maybe parents just shouldn't lead any small groups, right? Students are way better when they have younger leaders, maybe even peers. Anything to keep parents from leading small group sessions with students. What if they know them? You got to think about like parents leading small groups and like calling out their own kids. Like, wouldn't there be like disappointment coming on, and wouldn't the kid not feel like they could actually open up because, I mean, their parents are close by. They're involved in youth ministry. Kids certainly couldn't open up if their parents are around, right? So maybe you make it a policy. Parents shouldn't be present at all in youth group. And we're praying parents don't show up at this point, right? Maybe they could use youth group time as like their own personal retreat. You know, they could go on a hike, get some water, do yoga, literally do anything other than volunteer with youth group. I mean, they can drop off some money, they could pay, and they could help out and things like that. But gosh, we just don't want parents to be involved in youth ministry, right? See, with parents are around, students can't open up. They can't be themselves. They'll always be pretending, and maybe they won't be authentic with us. And we're concerned about that as their youth pastor, right? But what if? Take just a second to think about it. How could parents benefit the youth ministry? The reality is that parents are your most invested volunteers. They make really great volunteers. They've probably volunteered before. They've been helpful in other things. They know your students. They know kids. In fact, no one loves teenagers more than their parents. You might think that as the youth pastor, that's your job, to love students more than their parents, but in reality, there's no way you can compare with a parent's love. What if your parents could be your best small group leaders? They know teenagers. They live with them. They spend time with them all day, every day. Nobody knows teenagers better than their own parents. In fact, what if parents could change the dynamic of the youth group for the better? The reality is that parents want their kids to thrive. They might not know how to express it all the time, or they might do it differently than you think, but they want their kids to grow and fall in love with Jesus. Here are some tips and some things that I think will be helpful to you. First, let parents serve in youth ministry. Recruit parents. Use their skills. They know how to talk to students. They understand students. They probably even know how to talk to them better than you do. Let them lead small group Bible studies. Let them be a part of their teenagers' spiritual formation. Nothing can be sweeter than watching a parent serving in youth ministry and getting to spend time with their kid, even if the kid may not see it right at this moment. Use a parent's investment to make ministry better. The reality is they've been invested in these kids for years. Way before you started invested in them, they've been around. They've been through seasons of life with them. Let them contribute and lead their kids. Maybe not necessarily their own kids' small groups, but to be around, to be present, that's going to be good. It lets the kids thrive. It lets them grow. It lets parents be with them and advocate for the youth ministry, which is another great thing. parents are the best advocates for youth ministry. When it comes to people cheering you on, nobody is going to do it better than parents. Think about it. They want their kids to thrive. They want you to thrive. They want everything to work out. When it comes to teamwork, parents really know how to do it. They understand the skills. They have the ability. They're good, and it's useful for you to use them in student ministry. Do it. I promise you'll see results. I know there were years where I thought parents shouldn't be in youth ministry. I felt like maybe it was lame if a parent was involved. I started using parents though and really relying on them, and it changed the entire dynamic of my youth ministry. It changed how I served, and it made me a better youth pastor. So don't buy into the myth that parents don't belong in youth ministry. Instead, leverage parents to lead in youth ministry, and I promise it will help your youth ministry grow and thrive. Hey, my name is Ronald Long. I'm with the Youth Ministry Insider. I'm glad you're here, and I want God to do great things with you and in your youth group. And God is going to do great things through you. It might even happen this week at youth group. Before you go, I do want to tell you about a brand new series that I've released called Gratitude, the Attitude of Joy. If you don't know what to teach for the next month, I've got you set. This is 4 weeks of lesson plans, of games, of parent emails, of small group curriculum. I even have a whole month's worth of social media for you to use that ties everything up with this one series. If you are looking for a great free resource, I've got what you need with Gratitude, the Attitude of Joy. You can download it in the link below. It would be really great, and I would love nothing more than to bless you and your ministry. Have a great day, and thanks for coming by.